Talon.
Ooh.
Talon
Hi.
Musk.
He's back.
He's back. Dude, it's been a while since we had you on.
Should we
Yeah,
do
I
it?
think
It's been a while.
It's been a
I think it's
while.
been before Christmas, so
Yeah, man, it's been a good while since we had you on, but he's back. He's back,
He's
part
back.
of the team.
Whoa.
Oh. You know what's about to happen.
An Audible shout out. Click the link below for 30 days for free. Audible.
I don't know what that had to do with the team, but sure. I mean, he's not wrong. There is an Audible link down below in the description. I'm pointing. Go click it. You get Audible free for 30 days. Books, audio books, books on tape, as I like to call them, because I am old. Anyway, Talon is back, part of the team. Why do I keep saying team? You guys are probably like, what's going on here? What's going on here? Well, today we are going to be talking about teamwork, how teamwork makes the dream work. Oof. Yeah.
Corny.
Oh, corny. Corn also makes the dream work. But we're not talking about that today. We're talking about teamwork.
Different kind.
Chris, what do you want to say about teamwork?
Welcome back, Talon. I try to think of like Team Lon or I can't. It's not gonna
Team
happen.
Talon.
Team Talon Musk. Team Lon. Teamwork. What's up, guys? See,
just gave up right there.
Teamwork would have been those two tell me to shut up, Chris, and get on with it, and then we would have cut it out.
Sometimes
or we would have left it in.
Real teamwork would just be deleting it.
Yeah,
That's
true.
it. Cut it. Start over. Hey guys, welcome
Anyway.
back to Lessons Learned.
Teamwork in every aspect of your life is important. You know, we could bleed blue a little bit here. Talon and I were joking about it before we started recording. Hashtag wingman concept if you're in the Air Force.
Boy.
Now that is corny.
Yeah, it is.
Oh boy.
Corny, and he's from Nebraska.
Oh, nailed it. That was actually funny.
There you go. Show your cornfield next to you. Oh, wait, it's disappearing.
Yeah, it's now a development.
Oof.
Yeah.
Sick. Anyway, teamwork. I'm going to be talking about hockey today, deployment, and then what do you boys got teamwork? What part of life has teamwork affected you?
Definitely work.
I think everyone
Jobs,
has teamwork
baseball,
and
school. You know, school's going a little bit way back, but, you know, group projects are a big teamwork kind of thing. And Talon, what about you?
Dude, I can talk about all of those things along with you guys.
But you have one specific one that we don't.
Yeah.
Oh, man, teamwork in that married life? Is that what you're talking about? Oh,
Yeah,
Joe
but-
can talk about it now, too, but he's not
That's
here.
true. He's not here because he's lame.
Yeah. That man. That man is
He's an enigma.
that man is the example of bad teamwork. All right, cool.
Right
so
out.
diving into this, right? So real life situations that I've learned, deployment, right? Deployment, you know, we've got an entire crew. Oh shit, I just destroyed my mic. We've got an entire crew, but more specifically, there's 4 of my position. So that 4 becomes a pretty important team. And when people are slacking, that team inevitably fails, or there's a lot of pent-up frustration and negativity. So teamwork is important, right? So one, being aware that you are part of a team is probably the first step. So what you do doesn't affect just you. So carry your weight, you know? That applies to everything, like especially school. And like school projects, like group projects, Randy, you mentioned.
Yeah.
This podcast, there's the cat.
The porg.
Yeah.
The porg puts the team on his back. I mean,
Yeah, literally everyone's pet
that's
is
what
in the
everybody
frame
comes
right now.
back week for week for is the porg.
Or the cat. Or the dog. Cat dog! Anyway. Yeah, so that's important because, for example, you know, my previous deployment, it was a pretty good team. You know, we worked together pretty well. If someone was having a bad day, the others picked up the slack and, like, you know, kind of like let them work through their process. And I was very grateful for that crew that I had. It was probably the best I've had out of my whole Air Force career. And that's saying a lot because I've done quite a few deployments. And, you know, like for example, what I would do, so we've got these big old boxes we got to carry, like upstairs onto the aircraft. But if there's like one big ass one, like the size of a toddler, probably bigger, I guess. But, you know, I would always try, since I had deployed quite a bit more than the rest of these people, they were all pretty new, I would try to just take that big one because, you know, like, they're going to get tired, man. And, like, some of them were smaller than me. You know, there was a girl in the crew, and, like, I wanted to do my part for the team and just take, like, the heaviest box, you know, just something tiny like that goes a long way. And people recognize that. Like, hey, thanks for taking that, man. And then that just helps build the teamwork all around, right? So now they see you do that, so they're going to go above and beyond and do something small later on in the flight or something like that. You know, maybe the one guy started cooking cinnamon rolls for everybody, and it was fantastic. So it was, Air Force cooking cinnamon rolls during flight.
That's an important part of the team in general. Your part in that scenario where you are kind of like the senior member, you know, where you've kind of been through it, you've been there more than they have. So it's like, it's important for you to take the lead at that point and, you know, kind of show them the ropes and show them the way that you should be doing things.
Yeah, exactly. You know, you could lead by poor example, be like, I've done this too many times, you guys do all this. Like, that's terrible leadership. And like,
oh man, I've had
the
that,
teamwork. Yeah, the teamwork will just fail at that point, right? Because like, well, why do I want to do extra for you if you're making me do all of this, you know? So
I definitely saw that. We saw that in sports all the time. It was always like, you know, the newbie or the rookie has to carry the helmet bag and the gear bags and all this stuff. It was always the way it was. And you know, when you really think about it, like, how is that beneficial to the team? Like, a real leader is not someone who goes, you know, oh yeah, this is my 4th year playing, like, you know, you get the helmet bag, new guy. It's like, oh no, it's like, oh, like for my case, I'm a catcher, so I have a big gear bag as it is already. It would have always been nice for that guy to be like, hey man, like, you got a big gear bag, you got to catch a whole game, don't worry about it, I got it. That to me is a leader, and, you know, somebody who's really part of the team, not somebody who just goes, you know, oh yeah, I've been here, you know, long enough, I'm not taking that, whatever, you get it.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so that basically sounds like hazing to me, because it doesn't really help the team at all to kind of put that on all the new people, like what Chris was kind of saying, because you're the most experienced on your crew, for example. You knew all those little things adds up, especially for the newer people who maybe at the end of the trip might be getting a little bit more tired and everything like that. So just helping them out with those little tiny things could really extend like their energy and just their mood throughout that trip. And in baseball, like you said, it doesn't really make that leader look good when you're just like, yeah, you do all these really crappy things because you're the new person. Because I mean, on the surface, they're probably just gonna suck it up and like they'll deal with it. But like in their minds, I mean, you don't know. Like, they could just be cursing you in their minds, just like, yeah, this dude really sucks. And then guess what? Once they become like the more experienced person on the team, they're just gonna do the same thing to the new guys, because guess what? The same thing happened to them, so they're gonna keep doing it. It's just an endless cycle.
It creates a bad culture.
Yes, or bad teamwork culture.
Right.
Ooh.
Oh boy.
Yeah. Go ahead, Randy.
Yeah, I would say, Chris, something that you touched on earlier. You started to talk about. You didn't really go into too much detail. Teamwork isn't also like, it's not just about, you know, working together at, you know, a particular task, but it's also about like picking up your teammates. You know, like I'll use baseball is the best example I have because I've played for so long and everything. But, you know, one thing you do is, like, as a team, as a good teammate, you know, if your teammate strikes out or makes an error or something, it's like you don't get on their case about it. You're like, hey man, you get them next time. Like, you pick them up. Like, you try and make them feel better about their mistakes so they don't get in their own head and continue to make mistakes. Like, you know, you let them know, it's like, all right, man, like, you messed up, it's fine. Like, we'll get through it. It'll be good.
Yeah, a lesson learned. Go ahead, Talon.
You don't even have to be on like the exact same team. Like Chris also said earlier, is that the first step is just knowing that you are on a team. Because I mean, in baseball or something like that, it's pretty obvious. You're on a team. You're wearing the same jerseys and everything. It's obvious. And like for example, like Chris and I's work, there's multiple offices, there's multiple squadrons and everything. Like, we don't work with each other every single day. We have different tasks and everything. But guess what? Our mission at the end of the day is all the same. So we're all in the end still part of a team. and we're all going to help each other, even though they might work in a different office and we don't see them every day or anything. So it's just you can bring them up. They're having a bad day, help them out. They can help you out in the future as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's key. And like people have different skills, so you might be better at one skill, they might be better at another, and it's important to understand that. And as a successful team, that's how they operate, right? Like they understand. Like for example, my weakness might be like, I don't know. I can't really talk about
hockey
too much, but yeah, we'll talk about hockey. My weakness is playing defense. Can't play it. I mean, I can play it, but like I tend not to because I'm usually up, kind of ready to, bring the puck up. But so that's my weakness. So then when there's better defensemen or like the center, I play right wing, so the center will usually come back on defense and help out the two defenders while I kind of stay up towards the point. And so, yeah, it's really important. And like a good example of where I failed at what you guys were saying, to pick your teammates up. There's this one guy on my team, on one of my teams, where my man's been playing for 3 years now, same time as me, and he has not improved whatsoever. And I'm like, dude, you'll get it. Nice shot, nice goal when he scores like every now and then. But last week, man, oh my God. This man was skating around, not playing the position, like just kind of willy-nilly, not being aware where he was and stuff like that. And I was like, dude, what are you doing? Like, get to where you need to be. Like, do you know how to play hockey? And like, I shouldn't have done that, man. That's just, that wasn't productive at all. So, think about when you get frustrated and want to call someone out, just think like, is there any benefit to it?
Well,
the answer is probably no.
You're right. But at the same time, especially when you're talking about like a competitive sport, in the heat of the moment, it's going to happen. I've done it to my teammates, at times. The important thing is afterward, you say something in the moment and you pull them aside after, hey man, like I know I went hard on you, but I'm sorry, but we can't make mistakes like that there. You try and make it constructive, and you let them know that it's like, I didn't mean what I said in the moment. I was, amped up and excited, and like, you made a mistake, and it happens. But like, you're going to have moments where you blow up on your teammates. You just make sure afterward you make it right.
You just have to explain yourself. And sometimes you do have to play like the devil's advocate, where you can't always be nice. Sometimes you do have to be really blunt with them. It's just like, hey, you're truly just messing up right now.
Right. It's
there's a nice way to go about it and everything. You just have to think a little bit before you do it. But
that's
at
true.
The very
Actually,
least, afterwards, explain yourself so they're not feeling bad about it.
Actually, one of the books I read, I think it was Jocko Willink's book. I'm pulling a Jared Rumsey right now.
Oh.
I think it was called Extreme Ownership. That's what it was called. I'm pretty sure it was this book. Yeah. I could be getting books mixed up, but again, Audible, link below. Click it. It was talking about extreme ownership, right? So, knowing that you are part of a team, step one. Step two is, I won't go by steps, but it's important to know that like, if someone is bringing the team down, at what point is it more important to fire that person? For example, that he was talking about like businesses that he went to and stuff. If it's bringing the entire team down, and like you've tried the constructive criticism, you've tried to rehabilitate this person to where they need to be to operate at full capacity, right? And it's just not working, and it's continuing to bring the entire team down. Sometimes you have to let that person go, or like kick that person off the team, or whatever example you're in. You got to think of the greater good of the team, right? So it's not always rainbows and butterflies and like vanilla, right? It's just sometimes there's going to be moments where it's not a great situation, and you're just going to have to be blunt about it, So yeah, you can't really fire people on my job, but you can definitely like, talk to leadership or whatever, and hey, like this is what I saw. This is how it's affecting us. We've tried the constructive rehabilitation of it, right? And it's not working. What can we do? For us, they're not going to fire, and they might replace the guy on the crew though, and like that one replacement could make everything go way smoother. Especially if you're flying missions and stuff like that. Like, it's really important.
Yeah, I actually have a couple examples from that, but I have one particular example from coaching. So I was coaching when I used to coach a hit and run. I was coaching a team. We had a kid on the team who, I mean, really like didn't belong there. And we did the same thing. We tried, like, he actually came to me for lessons. We did lessons, and the kid wasn't a baseball player, just plain and simple. Like he really didn't belong out there. He definitely didn't belong out there with the group of guys that we had. And I felt bad because he was a nice enough kid, but at the end of the day, he was bringing the team down. It was like, now I have to take one of my good players out to put this kid in, or, this kid gets up to bat in a big situation where, we need a run and, there's 2 outs and now this kid's going to strike out. And, it was bringing the team down, and I was kind of playing him the bare minimum, which was okay based on my job. Like, it was a club sport, so it's not guaranteed playing time or anything. We ran to a situation where one of the kid's parents went to my bosses and complained that the kid wasn't getting enough playing time, blah, 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 all this stuff. And he ended up costing us in a big situation in the championship game. Now, where this story kind of turns around, so this was for the spring season, then we went into our summer season. So for the summer season, the kid decided not to play. And we were actually short. And I said to him, when I had a meeting with my boss, I said, can I just ask, like, what was the reason this kid was picked for the team? Because it was, like, clear he didn't belong there. And he said, well, really simply because you guys would have only had 11 players and not 12. And I was like, well, we probably would have been better off with 11. So fast forward to summertime now, this kid decides not to come back. The first couple games we play with 11, and we play better than we played like all year. There was no issues with playing time because I could kind of interchange anybody in and out. It didn't really affect the game. So it was like, all right, it doesn't matter if this kid starts the game or not because I can take him out and put this kid in. It's no different. So we had that, and then actually what ended up happening about partway through the season was they sent one of the kids who was a really good ball player from one of the younger teams up to our team, and he ended up making a big impact and doing a really good job. And we won 1 or 2 of our summer tournaments and came in any tournament we didn't win, we came in second.
Nice.
So, like, we played so much better, and it's sad on one hand because, like I said, the kid was a nice enough kid. He didn't have the drive and he didn't have the ability because you could see it too. Like, he would come to practice and kind of just, oh, I'm here. But, like, he didn't really put in the effort. And then once he was gone, it was already an improvement. It was a morale improvement because, you didn't have him bringing down everybody else as well. And then we ended up getting a replacement that was even better. So, like, it's just like you said, it's a big thing, and it's sad because you don't want to do that to somebody, but then at the same time, sometimes for the sake of the team, it's needed.
Yeah, and that goes just for, jobs and businesses as well, right? Oh, yeah. So you just got to keep an eye on that. I plan on working for myself, so that's a good lesson learned that I will take moving forward. If I do eventually have employees, right, that's a good thing to have them at the back of my head. I can't talk right now. Holy crap. Yeah. What about marriage, Talon? What about marriage? What's teamwork like in that?
Ooh, teamwork in marriage. I mean, I think anyone who's ever lived with another person can kind of understand a little bit, but I mean, you have all the aspects of living with someone. You have all the daily chores and everything, and then you have a little bit more though too, because whenever you're in a relationship, you have a lot more with just every aspect of your life. So I know, like, one good example is that Gabby's been trying to get an Aquarius position at the aquarium here in Omaha, and she's been interning there. She went to school for years. She's been working at the zoo for years. She's been interning and everything. And then I think it was after her first internship, she had an interview. She didn't get the job. She didn't have enough experience is what they told her. She did another internship with them that she's currently at right now. And then she put in her application. It was like a month or so, and she didn't hear anything back. So she was kind of getting a little bit like sad about it. I'm just like, hey, like, no matter what, I know that this is your dream. So this is my idea of like teamwork right here, because I would want this in the future as well. Is I was just like, hey, this is like your dream. Like, I know it sucks if you don't get it or whatever. If you need to go get like your scuba certification, I'll go wherever. Like I'll go get your like scuba certi with you and everything, so you have better chances in the future. If you want to keep interning, that's fine. Because of course she's interning, she's not making money. So it's just like, yeah, I could be like, no, I need you to bring in some like dollar bills or something so we can help pay for whatever. I don't know. I could be like that, but no, because this is her dream. I'm just like, if you need to like take the time that it takes to get there, because she's shown great teamwork in our relationship too. I mean, she moved out to Omaha just to pursue like my Air Force career and everything with me. She's been here this whole time, and I mean, who knows, when I get out of the Air Force, she could be there for whatever I want as well. So that's kind of, I mean, it's kind of like, I feel like it's almost paying her back a little bit because she's done so much coming out here with me for my career and everything. But I mean, it's also just for the future. It's just like we both want the best for each other. So like, yeah, we're just going to help each other out in whatever way, and we're going to encourage each other like that. I think that's probably like one of the greatest things of like teamwork in a marriage is encouragement for someone. If something bad happens, like, I mean, you could be there for them, like literally just being that person that they can come to for anything. Like I think it was a couple weeks ago, like I had like a really bad like mental day, like I was just down and everything, and like it's just easy to, I mean, I see her every single day, so I can talk to her about whatever, and she doesn't judge me or anything like that. So it's just like, just being there for someone, like that's teamwork right there, right? Encouraging someone. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, and just, I mean, we talked about it like with hazing and stuff too, is that like if they mess up, honestly, it's not productive to, like, I don't know, like if she doesn't clean the dishes correctly, like I could be like, yeah, you cleaned that, do it again or something like that. It's not very productive. Like it's just like, then she's just gonna feel bad. Or if I feel like she's not doing enough chores around the house, I could be like, yeah, you need to keep doing this, otherwise like the house is disgusting. It's not productive. Like pick each other up when you need to, because you don't, even when you like live with someone and you see them every single day, you don't know everything that's going on in their head. You don't know what's affecting their day still. So it's just like, maybe they have a bad day, don't make it worse. So
well, think about even the
Ladies.
day today, and I know like you recently had the issue in your basement, and I know you've been doing a lot of work to get it redone, so I'm sure it's been a lot of work on your part. And you know, I'm sure Gabby has been picking up your slack in other areas, like maybe, you know, laundry and cleaning the house and maybe cooking dinner and doing stuff like that, so that you have time to get this stuff done in the basement and get that all squared away.
Yeah, for sure. Like I spent like 8 hours in the basement installing flooring. Guess what? She made dinner. I didn't ask her to do it or anything like that. So like she knows it's like, hey, I got home from work and I'm doing all this other stuff, and I have school and I have studying and a bunch of other things. So this is like one of those things you can kind of like, once you get used to someone too, you can kind of pick up on their mood. Like you can tell when they're tired and everything. So same with Chris, like you can pick up those little tiny things, those little things, because you've been there, done that. So you know those little things that count in the end. So yep.
I just want to say, ladies, this is why Talon's taken and we're not, I guess.
What, are you just jerks?
No, you're nice. You're a nice guy. That's impressive. That made me smile, Talon. That was nice.
Chris is inspired.
I am inspired. Damn. What a guy. Elon Musk.
He's
Team
a
Elon
good
Musk.
guy. Okay?
He's a good guy.
That's why we keep him around, 'cause he's a good guy.
Okay.
And he's big smart. He's wicked smart.
He's big smart. Yeah, while Talon's doing all that work, you know, cleaning the basement and homework and studying and taking Network Plus, here's my dumbass calling, hey, man, can you help me with my taxes? I'm an idiot.
That's teamwork right there, though, too. Like, everything
it
with
is
just,
teamwork.
like, friends. Like, I mean, like, we've had helped Jared move. You helped me move. I helped you with finances. Like, that's all teamwork right there with your friends.
Taking care of
in
each other's
reality.
pets and plants. And
Yeah, exactly. And so, like, that's a good point, is friendships. I mean, you have a network, right? So it's almost like one big team of friends. How many times have we helped each other move? Like, we never pay each other. Like, no one asks for money. No one expects money. Like, we just do it because we know it'll help you and that you will have our backs in the future, right? And that's a great thing that the military has taught me, is that right there, is the teamwork. Like, you're all in it together, so just help each other. You know, like, if you help someone move, if someone's PCSing like Joe, I can help him pack up when I go home, because I know if I ever PCS, he would probably come out, say goodbye with me, and help me pack too. Like, it's just one big family, one big team.
Yeah.
So
I have a
it's
real good example of that when I was coming home from Colorado. So here's teamwork just amongst us. Actually, the three of us who are here today.
yeah.
I was coming home from Colorado. The plan was for me to stay at Chris's on the way back. Well, Chris had a family emergency, had to go home before I was coming back through. So Chris, being the good guy that he is,
The good guy.
gave Talon his keys. I picked up the keys from Talon, and Chris let me stay at his apartment. He said, "Hey, can you water my plants?" I said, "Absolutely." So I watered his plants. He paid the price because I drew some obscene things on his whiteboard that he didn't find for like a month because he was gone for that
I
long.
remember this.
And then when I left, I gave the keys back to Talon, and made it
Yeah,
on my
and
way.
when I
But,
come
like,
back,
it was the teamwork that made that whole plan. Where the plan got sent awry, but we used teamwork and we were able to figure it out.
yeah, I've done that so many times, right? Like when my last deployment, I was like, what am I gonna do with my cat? What am I gonna do with my plants? Like, do I unsign? Do I cut my lease off? Like, what do I do? And I asked around the squadron. I was like, hey, who's still in the dorms? Who wants to live in an apartment where you can cook for yourself and live off base? And that's a tempting offer. And I was like, you don't have to pay anything. Just take care of my stuff. And this guy did it for me, and it was fantastic. Like, that's the teamwork, So I'm gone for 3 months, not worrying about anything, because someone's literally living at my place, taking care of my stuff as if I was still there. And I'm helping him, mutually beneficial, because he's banking a ton of money. And it's fantastic. And he had the freedom of living off base. So, yeah, the military, man, and just good friendships. It makes the world of a difference. When you got a good team, you always help each other. It's fantastic.
I mean, the military has a pretty common phrase, and not just the military, but even when you're in bad situations, embrace the suck together. It's like, that's another form of teamwork. It's just like, yeah, we're all in terrible situations right now, but I mean, I guess it makes it somewhat better because you're also in the terrible situation.
Yeah, man, that, not to get all like mushy or anything, but like, there was a few flights where I was like, this is it. And we landed, and like we were all just laughing. Like, what else you gonna do? Like, during the moment we're all like white knuckles, like shit. And then you land, and it's like, that was crazy, wasn't it? And we're like, yeah, we didn't think we were gonna make it, did you? Nope.
Wow,
like,
that's such a cool experience we could talk about.
Yeah, and like I was out having a glass of scotch with some buddies yesterday, and it's like they literally said, like, I don't care if I'm not gonna explain that to people, and I'm okay not having to explain that to people, because I have you guys to talk to about it with, because no one else is gonna understand. You tell someone about that situation, they're like, oh, that sucks, but like they don't actually feel what you felt. So having that team, or like that crew that we had, yeah, that's important, man. It's like, that's why relationships like while you're in the military and you date someone that's not in the military is very, very difficult. And I'm not saying that like all relationships are difficult, or like if you're out of the military it's an easy thing to do, but it's finding common ground to talk about things, and that it's really difficult. So yeah, you gotta have a good teamwork. Like Gabby was in for a little bit. She did basic, right? So at least she knows like the basics of it, and like she can kind of understand where you're coming from. So yeah, man, teamwork is a beautiful thing when it works properly. You just got to make sure like it always is working properly.
Yep. Know your place, know your role, and be a leader if you're that guy.
Yeah.
If you're that guy.
Yeah. And if you can't be a leader, be the backup leader. Be the guy that helps the leader. Have his back and pick up the slack where he's lacking, because that's inevitably going to happen. So
Hell yeah.
That's
That's
something that
good
gets
teamwork right
forgotten. Something that gets forgotten a lot when it comes to leadership is that leader is also part of the team.
yeah,
People focus so much on that they're a leader that they kind of forget that they are also a person and like a teammate like everyone else. So sometimes they just get kind of forgotten. And then also from another book, Leaders Eat Last. One of the greatest things that a teamwork or a leader can do is create an environment of like protection for everyone. know that no matter who you go to, that they can help you. They're not gonna, like, you go to your boss, they're not gonna chew you out for something that you did. They're gonna be there and they're gonna help you through it or whatever it might be. Create that barrier of protection for them, and everything's gonna work out perfectly because they know that they can trust everyone.
Exactly. And then that's the quickest way to fix a problem, right? Hey, I have a problem. This is what happened. I need help to like overcome it. Boom, done. Instead of trying to bury it and then it becomes a bigger issue because you don't feel comfortable within your team. Yeah, I like it. Sick. All right. Thanks for listening, guys. We hope you learned something. I know I've taken some personal lessons learned and threw them in this episode. I think we all have. And, that's what it's all about. So if you found some value, maybe click subscribe on our YouTube. Maybe give us a like on our Instagram post. By the time you hear this, we'll have last week's episode. I don't know where I'm going with this. Terrible outro.
That's
Good
right.
teamwork,
Hey,
right?
Quick shout out. This coming Monday, which will be the previous Monday, last before, later, then previously to now. Monday was Caesar, who is one of our biggest fans. It's his birthday, so we want to give him a shout out. Happy birthday, buddy.
Oh, happy birthday,
happy
Caesar.
birthday, dude.
Thanks for the support, brother. That means a lot. Yeah, he's always, speaking of teamwork, like our fan base is teamwork, right? Like he's always there supporting us. If we're slacking, he'll be like, hey, I haven't heard from you guys for a bit. What's going on? Like you recording? Like, no, but you know what? Now I'm motivated to record again. Like we'll hop on it, brother. Like we got you. So yeah, thanks, Caesar. Happy birthday, buddy.
Yeah, honestly, like that means so much. Like we've never met this guy. I mean,
Yeah.
Randy has, but we haven't. And it's just like it almost feels like people like that are almost part of the team in some way too. So it's honestly
just
kinda
drives
crazy.
us.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
So yeah, give us a like. Check out the socials. We have all of our personal socials linked below in the description as well. Don't forget Audible link down below. It's affiliate link, so that's a great way to support us. We mentioned 2 books, Leaders Eat Last and Extreme Ownership. So check those out. They're both great books, honestly. Let us know what you learned. And if you have any future episode considerations, comment them on YouTube, Instagram, wherever. Send us a DM if you want. You got an issue you want us to talk about? You want to be anonymous? By all means, we can do that. And we always love input from our listeners. So, from everyone here at Lessons Learned, thanks a lot. And until next week.
See ya.
See ya.